Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the best console settings, so PS4 and Xbox One, for Fortnite in Season 4. Now, settings haven't really changed all too much since the last time I talked about my settings in Season 3, but I know I got a lot of new viewers and new subscribers since then, and I also want to take a lot of time to talk about Builder Pro and why I love Builder Pro and think it is the future of this game for console players, and talk about all that sort of stuff in today's video. So hope you guys are excited for this. I think this video will, give you guys the best settings for this game and talk about different options because not everyone's going to use the same settings. If you guys could smack a like on this video, that would be amazing. Let's go for 405 likes. That would be absolutely insane if we could smash that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. It's been absolutely amazing, the growth. It's been just truly a blessing because we're all already over like 112 or like something insane 1,000 amount of subscribers, which is just awesome, and I appreciate all of you guys. I want to keep this up, so keep subscribing to the channel if you guys are new. You definitely won't regret it because I cover everything you need to know about this game, and mostly on the tips and tricks front and making everyone who watches my channel a better player. That is the general idea. Let's talk about settings, and let's start with the simple settings. And as I talk about these, I'll show pictures up on the screen, and then I'll cover it and then go to, of course, the next picture. So like a little slideshow, but I also got some cool background gameplay here for you guys where I actually hit like a few nasty snipes. So let's talk about it. First thing, region, matchmaking region. This one is pretty simple. You just want to have it on where you're going to get the lowest ping or the lowest MS. It's going to auto put you onto that. So for me, it's going to be NA West because I live on the West Coast. That's the one that's going to work for me. If I go over to NA East, I get about 82 MS. So, if I play with some friends who are on the East Coast, it matters whoever the host of the game is. So I'll be a little bit more laggy, but, if you're playing by yourself, it's going to auto load you into the one that you have selected. You always want to select the one with the lowest MS. Pretty self-explanatory there. Now, as far as the input, a lot of people get confused about this. Anything that says mouse, you don't have to worry about. If you're using a mouse, of course, then you got to worry about it. But if you're using a controller for console, which you should be, you're going to have to worry about the ones that say controller sensitivities. So the first two are going to be your X and Y controller sensitivities. Now, these are the X axis and the Y axis. Now, very self-explanatory. You want to have both of these pretty much on the same number. That just makes it the most cohesive, I find. And most people, like 99% of people, use these on the same number. If you don't and it works for you, go for it. Personally, I use 5.5, which is nothing exceptional or nothing amazing. I think that this is your sensitivity that when you're not aimed down sight. So basically your sensitivity when you're running around, when you're looking around, when you're hip firing with a shotgun. This is a sensitivity that's going to matter when you're building. So some people might like to put this up so that you can build faster or that you could, swipe faster. Personally, I like to have it on an average level because sure, I can build fast, I can turn fast with this, but I also want to be steady, accurate with my hip fire shotgun shots, which I find is a big thing that people who have this up higher, an 8 or 9 or 10, sure, they can build like an absolute god and like spin around and build circles or squares really fast, but they might miss some shotgun shots which will cost them their life. So I think the good balance here is something you want to find where you can build but also be comfortable with your shotgun and your hip fire. I find 5 works for me. I see a lot of people play on 7. It all depends. If you find that you're missing a lot of hip fire shotgun shots, lower this. If not, you can put it up to a level that you're comfortable on. Next one we have to worry about is the wireless controller ADS sensitivity and the wireless controller scope sensitivity. So this is what it's going to slow down your sensitivity when you're aimed down sights with a rifle or a scoped rifle or a sniper, because you're going to want to slow down your sights. You can hit more shots more accurately. Now, personally, I just use 0.65. It's pretty standard. I don't use anything exceptional for these sensitivities. The one thing I would say is that for the scope sensitivity, you might want to move that one up, if anything, because that would be if you're sniping, you want to swipe on people. There's a reason why sniping is so much more popular and so much easier on the PC than it is on the console, and that's because of sensitivities and accuracy, of course, with the mouse and keyboard. But wireless scope sensitivity, if you are huge on sniping, I would suggest moving that up, and that's what we have there. As far as inverted view, I just have that off. That's definitely a unique feature. Streamer mode is also going to be off. That just makes it so it doesn't show people's names, to help counter stream sniping. But if you're not a streamer, you don't really have to worry about that. Next, let's talk about the scale of the heads-up display. Personally, I put it at 1.0. I don't really find that what this will do is if you lower it, it'll make your minimap smaller and your health bar smaller. Those things have never once gotten in my way in the game, so there's no reason to adjust it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Next thing is show spectator count. Personally, I put that off. I know that, a lot of my friends will always say, why is there 4 people watching me? That little eye in the bottom corner. And it can actually be a distractor when you know that people that you killed are now watching you. It can make some people a little on edge or feel uncomfortable. I just turn it off personally. If you want to watch me, go for it. I don't know. I'm going to focus and I'm going to stay on my game. I really recommend, if that's something that, people have different, mentals, and, that might not get into your head. But if it does, turn that off. Next, let's talk about control options. Sprint cancels reload. Off. You want to be able to sprint while reloading. Of course, when you get out of a fight, you want to start running to the next zone. You want to be reloading your guns while running. You want that off. Tap to search. This doesn't matter. You can have it off or on. Personally, I prefer just to hold the button down when I'm opening a chest so that I can hop off it. It's such a rare action, though. Basically, this is off or on. Toggle targeting, I have that one off. As far as auto equip best weapons, you might as well have this one on. It's basically when you run over a pile of loot, it'll auto pick up a bunch of stuff for you, which is never really going to screw you over. I recommend that being on. Aim assist always on. Aim assist is a huge thing with console because you can't aim as well as a mouse and keyboard. You need that aim assist on. It will help you, help you aim on a target, and there's just no reason to have this off. Reset building choice, I also have that one on, so that every single time, basically, I will start with a wall. If you have this off, it can mess you up, because if you're building ramps, then you forget to reset it manually, next fight comes off and you start building ramps and they shoot you through the side of it or something like that. You definitely want to have this on, unless you're, you really focus on using ramps and never using walls or something like that. But that's so, like, just have this on. You can rebuild, it'll go to the wall every single time, and it'll just become muscle memory for you of what you're going to be doing. Turbo building, there's no reason to have this off. It just means when you hold down the button, it makes it automatically build for you. If you have it on and you don't use it, it doesn't matter. You can still tap. There's no reason not to have that one on. Same with auto material change. This just when you're out of materials, will switch over to the next one. It won't automatically switch ever unless you're at 0. Which if you're at 0 and you're trying to build, you're probably in a panic situation. You want to have this one on. Controller auto run. Personally, I have this off because I think that it causes some. It's pretty good on PC, but for me on console with the controller, it causes some problems. Like, it basically, you can double click the movement button to engage auto run, but I find that I'm sort of a hyperactive player. I'm spamming that, and it just keeps going. Like, when I'm clicking that, it'll start me auto running, and then I'll mess up, and it'll stop the run, and different stuff like that. I just find that it works better off. And the last one here would be vibration, which vibration I just have off. Personally, I find that if you play with vibration, start making the transition into no vibration. I did that like 4 or 5 years ago. I used to play Call of Duty, and I played with vibration on, and I always liked the rumbling it would get, and like it would feel like you're actually doing something when you're shooting an enemy player. But personally, having that one off is a lot better, because then you have nothing to distract you from focusing on your shots. That's what we have for as far as that. And in this gameplay, by the way, I just want to talk about the gameplay for a quick second. I get like 13 kills or whatever, but I do end up going down. But luckily, my teammates clutch it for me, and we all get the victory royale, which that's the point of squads, man. It's all about teamwork. It was still pretty cool gameplay. Next, let's talk about the audio settings. Now, audio settings are very important in this game. Listening to enemies' footsteps, enemy shots, enemies building, what weapons they have. You can do so much off of the sense of just hearing. Personally, what I like to run with this is music volume down. Music. I don't ever like to have the music on in games, because I guess you could say because I'm a tryhard. I don't want to be distracted by music, and I definitely like to have that one off, so I'm not being pounded by music at the menu or different stuff like that. Sound effects and volume is the one you're going to want to have at the highest, because that is going to basically be your sound. You're listening to enemies, all that sort of stuff. Put that one above everyone else, and the rest of these can go sort of down. A voice chat I have a little bit higher, because if you do use voice chat in game, which I honestly don't use pretty much at all, I usually play on Discord with my friends, that will be able to help you out right there with the voice chat volume. That's about it for the audio settings. Nothing special here, and that's all you really have to focus on is those specific things. Next here, let's talk about building. Now, building is where it comes down to a major key. There's 4 different building, or basically not building, but controller settings. You got Standard, Quick Builder, Combat Pro, and Builder Pro. Now, Standard and Quick Builder, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about them. I know some really good players that play on Standard, but personally, I think that is because they just started on Standard and just came natural to them. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If you play on Standard or Quick Builder and you do well, and you do like insanely well, there's no reason to you know, change off of those to Combat Pro. There might be reason to switch to Builder Pro, which I'll talk about in a second. Combat Pro is just another way of you know, that it just makes it easier to cycle through your pieces compared to those other standard and quick builder, in my opinion. But the new one is Builder Pro, and I really think if you want to take your game to the next level, increase the skill gap, and just become the best player you can be, you pretty much have to be on Builder Pro. I've been using Builder Pro since it's come out, and the fact is, it is hard to get used to. There are some things that are troublesome with it. Placing traps, I would say, is the one thing that's harder, because you have to double press the square button on PS4 to place traps, which can be sort of unique and awkward. But I definitely feel like Builder Pro is the way to go for the future, and if you learn it now, you're going to be ahead of people who are going to be learning it in the future, and if you don't learn it now, you're going to be set behind, and eventually you're going to have to learn it anyway. Because the big thing with PC versus consoles, people would say you can't build as fast on console and all that sort of stuff, because basically PC, you can just click to go from anything. You go from the stairs straight to the wall. You don't have to cycle through, and that has been fixed with Builder Pro. You don't have to excuse me, with Builder Pro, you don't have to cycle through anymore. And basically with Combat Pro, you would have to go between the different pieces. You would have to use L1 and R1 to cycle through pieces. With Builder Pro, as it works, is you just, L2 will automatically place the stairs. You might have to double tap it or hold it down, because if you tap it lightly, it'll select. So I just double tap usually all the time and then hold it down. R2 will do a wall, R1 will do a floor, and L1 will do the roof pyramid, which you'll never really use. So basically you just focus on the two triggers and the right bumper, and that's what makes it so easy to build in this game, is you can go quickly from stairs to wall, stairs to wall, stairs to wall, to a floor. So when you're building up and you want to reinforce your base, I don't think anything can really beat Builder Pro, and that's my personal opinion on the matter. I think that Builder Pro is the way to go. Of course, there's certain reasons why other people don't like it. I know a lot of my friends still play on Combat Pro, and that's completely cool if you guys are on that. I'm just saying that I really do think Builder Pro is the future, and I think that one day it'll be worth to learn it. Of course, it does take time to learn. It took me a couple days, and you're going to be dying because you don't know how to build, and it is frustrating. That's the thing. But hey, if you want to be a great basketball player, at some point you got to learn how to do left-handed layups, and that's what I think that Builder Pro really is. You know, if you're out there practicing basketball, which is, you know, just a good reference I could say here, an analogy, you know, you want to practice your right-handed layups. You want to practice finishing at the rim with your right hand, because that's easy to. It makes you feel good. But look at the NBA. Every single person can finish with both hands. They can drive to the rim on both sides, and that's why they're so good. It's because they took the, I guess you could say, took the L while learning, and switched over and put that work into the other aspect of their game, which really takes you to beyond and above in the next level with Builder Pro. That's what I would say for that. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. A bunch of stuff that I covered. Oh my goodness. You know, just covering everything with the settings. These are what I think are the best. Sensitivity is all up to you personally, but I think these other things are, some of these settings are ones that you really have to be at the top of your game. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. That's about it, guys. Have a great night, and I'm out. Peace.